So the CBF, that is the Confederação Brasileño Football, I think. Excuse my Portuguese. And Manchester United have reached an agreement for Matheus Cunha to be rested for the final 3 matches of the season. I would be stunned if this actually has been agreed to. I'd be stunned. Especially the 3 matches. Maybe they could come to an agreement and say, look, we won't play him in all 3, or we won't start him in all 3, or maybe if we get third secure in the next match or so, yeah, maybe. But for me, as I highlighted earlier on, he is the first, he's certainly the first name on the team sheet when it comes to the front 3. In fact, I was on one of these websites earlier on today, looking at, our potential team for next year. And this is the team I drew up, at least in terms of the personnel that we have so far. These are the only players I feel comfortable about starting in our first match of the 26-27 season. And of course, there's huge question marks over the fitness of De Ligt especially, but Martinez as well, who's often picking up injuries. Cunha is in there. He's one of the, I would never call someone untouchable, but he's the one member of that front 4 players where we normally perm 3 from those 4, who I feel very comfortable about. I do see Dorgu going forward as being a squad player, personally. I do want to do a show in the future about comings and goings this summer and who I'd like to see come and go. But yeah, I'm happy with Dorgu to stay at the club and be a squad player, filling at left back, filling at left side of attack, especially against more dangerous opponents, especially away from home, maybe in the Champions League. He could be in the front 3, for example. He's a bit more defensive-minded. But Cunha is an absolute certain to start. And even if we've got Champions League assured, and even if it's looking set for us to get a top 3 spot, I'm a long way away from being happy with this. It might even be nonsense. It might be. Bruno Andrade is the journalist behind this. I might even try and seek him out and see if I can get him on the show. And there's also a footballer, by the way, by the same name. Joined the academy of Queen's Park Rangers. But anyway, Bruno Andrade looks like he's a journalist for ESPN. And he's written this story about how, ESPN Brasil, I should probably add. He's written a story about how this is the case. In a tense moment, it begins this article, by the way, which was written earlier on today. And with various other players as well. So it looks like it's not just Cunha, because they're worried about him needing... Look, so I'm just reading this. The CBF and Manchester United have come to an agreement that Matheus Cunha, will be rested for ahead of the World Cup, for the causa de Copa do Mundo. Copa do Mundo is World Cup in Portuguese. I have some Portuguese awareness. I have studied it a little bit on top of my Spanish. Matheus Cunha, who's, certainly going to be in the squad. According to the journalist, United are going to do Ancelotti a favour. Let me just bring up the article again. Quebrar o galho is to do a favour, I think. And ESPN has learned that the CBF has reached out the Confederação Brasileira Federação, has reached the Brazilian Federation, has reached, it's a bit like our English FA, has reached an agreement with United to rest Cunha for the final 3 matches of the Premier League so that he can fully recover. But he's not even injured. I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, rest him, and recuperate from an arduous season. But we only played 40 matches in all competitions because we weren't in Europe, and we went out of the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup at the first match of asking. So, yeah, bizarre and could be BS. I wouldn't be surprised if we do mix things up in the final few games. I think maybe Carrick will do that in the last game of the season, or maybe the penultimate game. I think he'd be keen to get 3 more points on the board and pretty much a sure 3rd spot, which I think we just need 1 more win to do that. Not technically, we need 4 points to get that spot. Let me just check. 6 points between us with 9 to play for. So with our goal difference, particularly compared to Liverpool. I think if Liverpool won 3 games and we only won 1, I think with their goal difference, they would end up overtaking us, because their goal difference is 12 at the moment, as is 15. But if we won 1 match and lost 2, likely is that our goal difference would go down. And in that same spell, Liverpool's would obviously go up with 3 wins. But Liverpool have to play Villa. And Liverpool have to play Chelsea, by the way. But Chelsea are just in freefall, losing again today, 3-1 at home to Forest. And I think Forest are now safe. Yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about this Matheus Cunha story. Is it just rubbish? Is it just BS? Maybe the Brazilian Federation want to do something like this, but that doesn't mean it will happen. And I let's watch this space. I have seen some people already dismissing it as a story anyway. The more I look at it regarding Cunha, the thinner on details it appears. It doesn't have a quote from anyone other than just putting in inverted commas, hoping to get a favor from United. And it's a pretty short article that lengthens itself by just showing who United's next 3 games are against, and the fact that you can watch it on ESPN or ESPN's sister channel, the Disney premium option. So, yeah, could well be nonsense, this supposed arrangement. I wouldn't be surprised to see Cunha not play all 3. And I know that these deals do get done, because maybe United will say, look, we can do something for you here if you don't call him up for some friendlies, for example, in September or October. I mean, I don't think United could ask them not to call him up for any qualifiers in September, October, if they have any, for Copa America or I don't know when the World Cup qualifiers for the next World Cup will begin for Brazil, but I know they can be pretty elongated, despite the one World Cup just finishing.